With Ryan Coogler's brand new movie out, Sinners, I was inspired on making this video, and I feel like this is a good time to have this discussion. This is not me trying to hate on Ryan Coogler in any way. It's more so a conversation starter or just a discussion about film and just filmmakers in general. Just a think piece, just to kind of get the brain working, because there's a lot of hype with Sinners and just a lot of what Ryan Coogler has done over the years. There's no denying his impact, his cultural impact, not only within the Black community, film community, just in pop culture in general, from Fruitvale Station to Creed to the Black Panther movies, and now Sinners, his first horror movie. There's no denying his acclaim, his box office success. That's all cool, right? You can never take that away from him. But I want to ask the question, does Ryan Coogler recognize his flaws? And what I mean by that is, when you really take a step back and look at his filmography, you can really challenge a lot of what he has done. You know, Fruitvale Station was a really good kickoff to his career. Like, him and Michael B. Jordan has just been working together ever since. Like, he's been in every single one of his movies. Every director has that specific actor or actress they work with, because, you know, they just have really good chemistry. And you know, Creed is another one where it's based off of Rocky. This is a lot of people's introduction to the Rocky movies. I really enjoyed the first Creed. Black Panther is another huge moment in his career. Over $1 billion movie. And then to follow that up with Wakanda Forever, that's where you really start seeing the chinks in his armor. There will be people that absolutely love Wakanda Forever, don't look at any of the glaring issues with that movie, and won't understand why it's his weakest out of the bunch. And after watching Sinners, the more I think about that film, the more issues I have with it. Not necessarily that it's a bad directed film. Like, I think the cultural stuff in there, the everything that has to do with Black culture really hits, but it lacks with the horror aspect. Like, the vampires are very kind of lackluster, and that could be improved on in a sequel. That is yet to be seen, that Coogler can do a good sequel, and maybe he will look at that criticism, or if he looks at any criticism, because right now a lot of people have been praising Sinners, saying it's the best movie of the year, yada yada yada. I haven't seen too many people actually critique that movie, where that definitely has some issues, and that's always going to be subjective. That's the beauty in film, that you're not going to always see things how everybody else sees them. People are going to love Sinners for other different reasons. Some people won't be able to connect with it, and that's all fine and good. You know, I feel like Coogler could definitely take some notes, you know, with his movies. I think the issues he has with a lot of his films it comes down to pacing. You know, the last couple of movies he has come out with, pacing has definitely kind of been the issue. Like I said, some people might not have an issue with the pacing with a lot of his movies. You know, I understand with Sinners, it's very much like going for that classic Western meets like 80s types of vibes, but just also a period piece at the same time. Very, very ambitious. You know, I give Coogler his flowers when it comes to that. As a filmmaker, he definitely challenges himself Whether you like the decision or not, like when you say with Wakanda Forever, I think that was a mistake. Some other people not going to see it that way. Some people like the change, like the fact what they did with T'Challa's character, but that's always going to be a thing of debate when it comes to talking with Ryan Coogler. And is he going to be able to make that right? Time will tell. But the future, I want to see Coogler kind of do more things within horror. I want to see where he can improve on. I want to see him do other genres, not just like already established IPs or comic book shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really going to separate him from other filmmakers out there that are considered the greats, like a Spielberg or a Scorsese or a Quentin Tarantino, because people can not like their movies as well or have flaws. What I would also like to see more of when it comes to Ryan Coogler, and not just Ryan Coogler, just directors in general, people shouldn't be afraid to give them constructive criticism, because I feel like if a director hears some constructive criticism, they could look at like, all right, this is where I need to improve on, and it only makes them better as a director. And that's why I want to kind of see more with when it comes to Coogler. I want people to kind of be a little bit more honest. Don't just kind of, I know people get caught up in the hype. You know, a lot of people are going to call his filmography flawless. He doesn't miss. You know what I'm saying? As far as box office goes, he doesn't miss. But when we kind of separate that and really look at the product or look at the stories that are being told, I think there is definitely an argument to be had that he could do better in a lot of his movies. Overall, I think regardless of where Coogler goes 5-10 years from now, he's always going to have people that support his movies. He'll always be able to make these cultural impacts. I just want to see him improve, you know, whether that be the pacing of his movies, tightening it up. Like Sinners 2 should not be longer than like 2 hours, in my opinion. Let's really tighten that up. Or let's embrace some more new faces, new black actors, or just actors in general. I do like that about Sinners. He puts you on to some new faces that you might see in future movies, and he doesn't always have to kind of rely on Michael B. Jordan every time. I also want to see him step into more genres, like let's make a rom-com, because I think Ryan Coogler could make a really dope rom-com. Dip into science fiction. I'd be curious to see what that would look like. But let me know how you guys feel about all of this. How do you guys feel about Coogler as it stands now with all of his films that have been released? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out.